Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to A Veteran's View. I'm your host, Patrick. And for this particular video, what I really wanted to cover was some easy, simple ways that you could increase your income in 2021. So, some of these could be, something as simple as, selling a couple items that you have maybe on eBay or selling them on like a Facebook marketplace or any one of those, app based marketplaces that they have in your area. Very simple, easy to use. But then you could also, go greater than that. You could start selling on Etsy. You could design some type of product, whether it might be a clothing item or tumblers, water bottles. Um, there are so many different things, signs, so many different things you can make and that you can sell on Etsy. You're pretty much anything you can imagine you could sell, and there would be some type of market for it. Then you've got, if you want to do something where you're kind of like starting your own business, you could do more something like, starting a store on Amazon, and really work in that angle. But that would take a lot more research and kind of getting in depth in terms of what you would want to do for that. Um, After those three, you could do something simple like one of the, app based delivery opportunities. So you could do something like Doordash, Uber, Lyft, Uber Eats, Instacart, Food Jets. Um, and my wife and we actually tried this out early on last year, and I logged into our accounts. I got some numbers for you just so I can kind of show you. A lot of people kind of laugh at those jobs and think like, oh, they don't make very much. But when you think about, if you're doing it as a side hustle just to increase your income, if you only do it a couple nights a week and make an extra $200-300 per week, that's a substantial amount of money. And you really don't have to work that long to make that much. Um, so then you've also got, things like if you kind of want to do stuff around your community. So if you wanted to like wash people's houses, all you really need ultimately would be like a pressure washer. If you had a pressure washer, a decent pressure washer, you could go to people's homes, charge them whatever. You could look at what the rates are in your area and whatnot. And you just wash their home. Or, people who have stuff embedded on their driveway. You can clean their entire driveway. Or wash their trash cans. We all know how nasty our trash cans get. Um, can make money doing that. And ultimately, once you have the pressure washer, the only thing you're really using is water, which you're going to use at their home, so you're not paying for it. You might have some tools, say, some brushes if you're trying to scrub something off the side of a house or really wanting to, scrub really nicely in the trash cans or whatnot. But ultimately, there's not that much initial startup that you would need. You could also look at cleaning out gutters. I don't like cleaning out gutters. It's so simple. It's very simple, but a lot of people hate doing it. So you would just market yourself around the community. Find those people who are willing to trade their money to you for your time to clean out their gutter. And it's amazing how simple and how easily some of that money could be made. Obviously, some other ways. If you're already employed, ask your boss if you can increase your hours. It might be very unlikely, but depending on where you work, you may have somebody who, if let's say they call in sick and they need somebody to stay or need somebody to come in, maybe there's something in place where they could call you. Hey, you want to come in, work 4, 5, 6 hours today? It's extra money. I know for me, when I worked at the prison I worked at in Colorado, every night when we would go in for our roll call, they called it, just to, tell everybody what their post was going to be for the day or where they were going to be working, um, they would already know if they were going to have anticipations for the following shift. People who might be on vacation, maybe they called out, whatever the case may be. So then for a lot of us, you could work doubles. So, you would, and then for us working doubles, we got to pick where in the prison we wanted to work. So, I mean, those are just kind of some simple ones that can be looked at. And then also, you could go the old-fashioned way and going back to just getting a traditional part-time job. Once again, depending on how much you're trying to increase your revenue is ultimately going to determine kind of which route you may or may not want to go. You may only pick one of these routes, or you may want to pick a combination of the routes, maybe do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But really, it's ultimately kind of up to you in what you're willing to do and what you are willing to trade your time for in place of somebody else giving you their money. That's ultimately what it comes down to. I know we have a lot of people, especially where I live here in this right outside Sacramento, the community we live in. There are a lot of people who you would never catch like cleaning anything. They've got a maid for that. They've got, a landscaping company coming and making their yard look nice, trimming their bushes. They've got the cleaning lady that comes once or twice a week. They've got somebody that does their laundry. They've got somebody, they don't lift a finger. That's kind of where I live, which it's an interesting dynamic because I kind of have to fight every day to ensure that my daughters do not have this mindset because it's unrealistic. The average person has to clean their own house. That's another one. Now granted, I don't know, with the pandemic going on, I don't know how many people are getting their homes cleaned, but that could be another one. Very low startup. Get some cleaning products, basic cleaning products. And once again, exchanging your time for somebody else's money. But kind of like I was saying, I have to fight every day to make sure that my daughters realize that the way a lot of their friends' parents and the way that what they see in this environment, it's not reality. It's not how the average person lives their life. Speaking, like I mentioned earlier, on Etsy and what you can make. My wife, the shirt I'm wearing, got a nice straight out of money shirt. Here, let me show you guys. Straight out of money. She made that for me for Father's Day, I believe it was this year. And, something simple like that you can sell on Etsy. You can think about, when certain holidays come up, and you can really tailor kind of what you're doing. You just got to stay ahead of the trends a little bit. So kind of what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and break from this video, and we're going to go straight to my whiteboard where I've actually got information just from some of the things that my wife and I did this past year, just some examples to kind of show, how much money you can make just doing some of these little side gigs that a lot of people may or may not even blink twice at or think about. So with that, we'll move on now. What is up, guys? It is Patrick back on A Veteran's View. And today I just kind of wanted to go over, some ways that you can increase your income in 2021. When everybody thinks about pandemic still happening and people are still losing their jobs left and right, the vast majority of people, even just looking at the numbers, are still doing okay. And a lot of these ways that we've got on our list here are very simple and very easy to do. So some of the ones we've got, we'll kind of just jump right in here. You could start a shop on Etsy. If you've got some type of talent, if you've got some type of craft you can make, whether it be t-shirts, sweatshirts, wooden signs, water bottles, decals, necklaces, jewelry, virtually anything you can think of is on Etsy. And if you can figure out what that niche is for you, you can get right into Etsy, get your shop set up, and you can start going. Also, you could do some of the older, one of the older ways, selling stuff on eBay or flipping items on eBay. And another one could be you could start a store on Amazon, or you could do something like, some type of drop shipping type store. You could focus on jobs that people don't like. So for jobs people don't like, you could do, cleaning gutters. I know for myself, I don't like cleaning gutters. It is very simple and very easy to do. I just don't like doing it. And there are a lot of people in that same boat. A lot of those people, they're willing to trade their money for your time cleaning out the gutters. Then another one could be if you want to clean houses or pressure wash houses, clean the exterior of the house. Over the years, concrete gets faded, stuff gets absorbed, it starts looking nasty on the outside of the house. Depending on the type of material the house is made from, you could have discoloration, you could have stuff built up. And for that, all you need is a pressure washer and your time. Because when you're cleaning these homes, obviously, if you're at somebody's house, you are connected to their water supply. You're not bringing your own water supply. And I did kind of some bare bones in my area, the greater Sacramento area in California. Did some research on kind of what some of these jobs that people don't like, what they pay. And you'll be able to kind of see, they pay fairly well. Another one could be cleaning homes, the interior of the homes. This particular area that I live in, and it's a fight I have to fight every single day. There are a lot of people here who are fortunate enough to where they can have maids come out to their homes, to where they can have landscapers come out to their homes, take care of their yard. They don't really have to do all that much. And cleaning houses, once again, can make some good money. Then looking at, kind of like I mentioned earlier, looking at Etsy ideas. Clothing, water bottles, signs, jewelry, decals. Now, in terms of something my wife and I did, and we tried this out last year, and I just so happened we still had our accounts, so I logged into our accounts, and I took some screenshots of just some of the weeks that we had used these. So for like your app-based jobs, like Instacart, Doordash, Uber Eats, Lyft. A lot of people don't think that they make all that much, but I've got some data I'm going to show you that kind of shows otherwise. And I will be showing you these screenshots at the end of the video. In terms of, I did Uber Eats deliveries. I did these for 1 week. Now, this particular one, Uber was kind of restructuring their pay system and whatnot. But I did deliveries for 1 week, Uber Eats, and I was logged in using the app for about 29 hours. And in 29 hours, I made $816.04. And then I've also got one on here from our own personal Etsy shop. Where, now granted, this one is the lowest of the bunch because we don't really promote much on Etsy. We haven't really kept up with all of our products on there. But from the months of October 1st to December 31st, we made $629 off Etsy. So kind of what I'm going to show here is it really isn't that difficult. You know, if you're doing, like I was talking, I mean, my favorite out of all of these would be just the app-based delivery. I don't mind grocery shopping. So like with Instacart, the average orders I get on Instacart are between $20 and $25 per order. Each order takes roughly an hour to do total. So if you think about it, you know, if it's your weekend, you know, you need some extra money, you could log into that app. I want to say they start allowing deliveries at 8 a.m. and they pretty much cut them off at 8 p.m. So you've got a 12-hour window every day. So on Instacart, if you've got 6, 7, 8 spare hours, you know, you could potentially make $150, $200 in one single day. You know, if you did that one day, you know, if you did that every weekend for one day, making $150, let's just say, that's $600 you added to your income in a month. On the other ones with the Uber Eats deliveries, what we would kind of do with that is we found typically people were most likely to order late at night. So what we would do, we would make it a family event. We'd all hop in the van and we'd go do orders at night. Get a movie for the kids, just chit chat, listen to music, picking up and dropping off food. Very, very simple stuff. And then kind of moving on, you know, to our next one, I've got the breakdown here of some of these oddball jobs. So for instance, in my area for gutter cleaning, if you were to take a 1,500 square foot house, the average cost that a company is going to charge you is $145 to $196. Obviously, you as an individual, you can play with that number, you can knock that number down, you can make it much cheaper because your overhead is almost nothing once you have the pressure washer. In terms of house cleaning, a lot of this in terms of the amount you're going to make is varied depending on how thorough of a cleaning they want. You know, is it a, you know, just kind of touching some things up, or is it a full-blown cleaning? But once again, Greater Sacramento area, the average cost, this is in 2020, of having some type of maid service come out to your home was $235. So once again, for this, your overhead, you know, some cleaning supplies, whatnot. But I know growing up, my mom cleaned houses, and a lot of times, the person she cleaned houses for, they provided her the cleaning supplies. Now, here's kind of a big one right here. Pressure washing homes and windows. And also include like driveway and sidewalk in there as well. So if you look here, a 1,500 to 2,000 square foot house. Once again, in my area, you're looking at between $277 and $412. So once again, with the pressure washer, your overhead is non-existent, minus your time. And then once again, kind of moving on here, and I pieced the numbers together. So one of the particular weeks that I did Instacart, this first one here, in 22 and a half hours, I did a total of 24 deliveries. And sometimes they group deliveries together. So that delivery, that batches number at the bottom could be a little misleading. That's the amount of orders you accepted. Sometimes they get combined. So sometimes at one store, you'll do 2 orders and deliver to 2 separate people. So in 22 and a half hours, I made $590.03, which for that week broke down to $26.20 per hour. Moving on to the next one. We've got, once again, Instacart. And this one, I was logged into much longer. So this was a total of almost 43 hours. In 43 hours, I made a total of $866, and that is a breakdown of $20.13 per hour. Now, moving over here to Uber Eats, and like I mentioned, this is the one that's kind of misleading. So, my online time, the time that I was actually logged into the app, was 40 hours and 18 minutes. But that is not time that you are actually doing orders. That is just time that your app is on and you are available to accept orders. So what I did, since I didn't know, if you look at my active time is 17 hours and 7 minutes. Now that's the amount of time that I spent between accepting the order, dropping the order off. So what I did is I split the difference. I pretty much added 12 hours onto the active time, subtracted 12 hours from the online time, and just put it at 28.5 hours total. So kind of right in the middle of 17 and 40. So even going off that, which is not accurate, my amount that I made was actually much more. Made $816.04. You divide that by 28.5 hours, that's a total of $28.63 per hour. And then moving on to Etsy, and this is just kind of a snapshot of our Etsy page. So once again, we don't do a whole lot on Etsy. We don't promote much very more. We haven't really kept up with it. But just over the last 3 months, random onesies and twosie orders come in. $629.